It all started in 2008. I was a pretty chunky baby when I was born. My mom always said to me that I always ate a lot. I was the only child, and I used to hang out with my family all the time. My cousins, my aunts, anybody. My grandma too, my grandpa.
Cuando Minor nació, me sentí la mamá más feliz del mundo. Ah, Era un niño muy energético. Me encantaba mucho jugar el soccer. Y yo le vi mucha energía que él tenía. Y yo dije, a mi hijo le encanta el soccer y decidí inscribirlo a, a un equipo de soccer. Y él vi que le encantaba, que él no tenía miedo a nada. Jugaba hasta con los niños más grandes. Si un niño, él era defensa donde él jugaba y él no dejaba que otro niño entrara a hacer los goles. Siempre lo detenía y el coach, eso a él le encantaba. Decía, Minor, nadie lo para, no se le va nadie. Y el coach se ponía muy feliz y yo como madre también.
At a young age, I found out that I loved the sport called soccer. Ever since I was a little boy, I was obsessed with soccer. I would spend hours in my backyard practicing my defending skills. It was clear to me that soccer had a special value in my heart. Despite my young age, I used to play against bigger kids because I thought someday I would need this to play at a better level. And now, my passion for soccer has grown more evidently. One of my hardest challenges that I went through when playing soccer was whenever I broke my tibia. The tibia is the lower part of the knee which holds all your weight. They gave me 3 metal screws in order to support my knee. At some point, I really thought this injury was not going to let me play the game that I love so dearly again. Because it was such a bad injury that my surgeon even said that there was a slim chance of me playing the game again. But they told me after they got the results on what happened, they told me that I could play the game again, but it was going to require a lot of hard work and a lot of pushing through. And now I play for Springwoods men's soccer. It's been such a good journey to go through because it was the first time that we made playoffs for the first time since 2020. I'm so thankful for being part of the Springwoods men's soccer program. It's changed me and turned me into a better man. And as I continue to grow up and develop as a soccer player, one thing is for certain that my love for the game will continue to drive me forward, whether it's making key passes or simply enjoying the thrill of playing. Soccer will always hold a special place in my heart. And who knows, perhaps one day we'll see me playing on the world stage, representing my country with pride. The future is bright for those who pursue a true passion.
I was born in February 15, 2008, and I grew up in Vietnam with my mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. My mom's side was in Vietnam, and my dad's side is from Michigan. And when we got over here to Houston, Texas, I was only 4 years old. I got two other siblings, an older brother and a younger brother. My older brother is 4 years older than me, and my younger brother is only 2 years younger than me. I am the middle child of my family, and my mom and dad both came here so they could have us. At first, we lived in an apartment for a few years, and then we moved into a household where we can have our own rooms with a mattress on the floor. While being here, I was able to be in school all the way from pre-K to high school right now, and I was able to socialize and make some new friends along the way and learn more.
I met Trent in 5th grade. I was actually introduced to her by another friend of mine. That's why they're mutual friends.
When I noticed I started doing actual art was in 5th grade. This elementary rodeo thing we did was an amazing experience. I got to earn the only blue ribbon in my whole entire 5th grade class, and it was just an honorable memory. This one, the blue book, was in 8th grade for vase, an art competition, and I got a junior medal. For this goat, the name is Velvet, and I drew it out of colored pencil, and it was my very first colored pencil drawing for something like rodeo. And after that, a few months passed. I wanted to create more things with different materials.
I love Trent's art. I think that it always looks so realistic, and I think that it's really good.
And like I said, I wanted to create more artworks and something, and rodeo was a good excuse for something I could make with my hands. And I wanted to create these two horses, and this artwork is called At First Sight. It was a good experience.
My favorite art piece of Trent's is when she drew this horse, and well, it was two horses. And they were just so realistic. It was like, wow, like you really drew that.
My next thing was this flamingo. I had sketched this out from a art final that my teacher gave me, and I had this bright idea of making it 3D because it was inspired by Invisible Cities, and it was an invisible flamingo that was a city. And I had this bright idea because Vase was happening, the competition, and I wanted to enter something cool and something amazing to show other artists, and I wanted to make it 3D, and so I made it out of cardboard. This was an important day for me because I have been working hard for this flamingo to come to life. I was just ready to show what I've been working on, and I also got to see other people's artworks and what they have their eye on, what their point of view of art is. I enjoyed my time there, and both of my art pieces that I had entered in, the two horses and the flamingo, got both 4s, and my flamingo was able to also be picked and chosen to be interstate. I'm so glad I was able to do as many things as I can do right now, and so far I'm just a student and I'm ready for whatever's next.
My story first began on a rainy Friday early in the morning on January 2008. My mom, with a smile on her face, told me that it wasn't a very long delivery, and before the birds even had a chance to chirp, I was born. I became my mom's second daughter, and my sister, Alma, was eagerly waiting to meet me as she knew from that moment on we would be inseparable.
I think for the most part, you were always very creative and artistic. When it comes to like choosing your clothes, you were always like color coordinating everything. And then you were a girlies girl, so you would play with like Barbies and would know how to match certain piece of clothing with like certain shoes and certain colors, and knew how to complement them with each other. And then you would incorporate that with you. You would also color coordinate your clothes and then your bows and everything. So I think you would just always been a very artistic person who just enjoys art in every shape and form.
Before I knew it, I was finishing pre-K and heading off to kindergarten. Time truly does fly by because with a blink of an eye, I found myself graduating from 5th grade, transitioning from elementary to middle school.
I think my favorite memory of you as a kid is when you would play with Barbies. I would always find it interesting how you would play with Barbies and how you would make those characters come to life and how you would create these scenarios in your head. And I would always think, how is she coming up with this? And I think because I grew up watching something else rather than Barbie, it was just a very unique experience because I got to see another side of what it was like to be a girl. So I think my favorite memory was also watching movies with you that involved Barbie and just being a girly's girl for once.
And as they say, middle school is the weird time period when everyone is trying to find themselves and discover who they truly are. So we're just going to fast forward to the beginning of high school, which was freshman year.
Something interesting that I have noticed over the years is your perseverance for art. I have seen the way you have been determined to stay in art all of these years, ever since you were a little girl to now that you're older. And I have seen those art skills not only improve, but also incorporate now into your arts that have now been in competitions. And it honestly just brings me a new sense of art and seeing a new world of art and how everything functions. Because honestly, I didn't grow up with art, so seeing her see puts me in a perspective where I appreciate art in ways that I would never think of before.
Freshman year was a time I had been eagerly waiting for, as not only did I get closer to people, but I was also very excited to finally experience a tradition that every girl in my family has gone through, a quinceañera. Throughout my first semester of freshman year, my mind was consumed with thoughts of that special day which kept getting closer and closer, and finally the day arrived. My childhood dream became a reality. The joy and excitement I felt as I celebrated with my loved ones are memories that will forever hold a special place in my heart. A year later, I still think about that day, but I can't help to think of another dream that I fulfilled, and that was the opportunity to attend the rodeo for the first time ever. This past spring break, I finally got the chance to see what the rodeo was all about. The vibrant atmosphere, the thrilling rodeo rides, and the delicious fair food created an unforgettable experience filled with joy and excitement. And that's my story so far. It's a collection of cherished memories, milestones, and dreams come true.
September 26, 2006, I was born in St. Paul, Minnesota. I lived there for 2 years until my mom and my biological dad separated. I already had my brother, and he was born in Texas, and my sister was also born in Texas after we moved back.
It was good. My first language was English, even though I was raised in a only Spanish household, but that's because of school. Uh, I learned a lot of things. When I got back to Houston, none of my cousins knew English, so there was no point in me talking English. But I still spoke it, and they were all confused. I've been pretty advanced since a young age.
When we moved back, I started going to school here, and we had also gone back to Minnesota for a few weeks, and then we came back. In elementary school, I started to gain confidence and collaborate more with my elementary teachers. Once I started collaborating with my elementary teachers, I got close to my second grade teacher, which she showed me many ways in how to perceive life and how to be stronger on my own. She was one of the reasons why I have now decided to become a teacher.
I mean, yeah. Since you were, I think, in second grade, you had a teacher named Miss Hymas. You always stayed like after school, and you were like pretty persistent about school since a very young age. You were young and really had it. You were cracking that pencil down on the paper.
As I kept growing up, I kept thinking about the career that I wanted to do, which was not a doctor, not a lawyer, but a teacher. When I went into high school, I got into a teaching class, which got me to competing in my sophomore year for Teacher Futures of Education, and then I went to state. The next year, for my junior year, I also went to state, and I was really close to being in nationals, but things happen for a reason. I plan to do it next year, and I plan to also be in a 2-period class that will help me get a teaching certification for Spring Branch ISD. I plan to keep taking this pathway in education and applying in the University of Austin. It has made me realize that, like anything, this will always be a fresh start. has the time gone? I am now 17 years old, just 1 year from graduating high school. I can't believe my life so far. I wish I could go back to when I was a little me. My life started on November 3rd, 2006. I was born here in Houston, Texas, and right when I came out the womb, the nurses and my mom said I was a pretty chubby baby.
Cuando estaba embarazada de ti, yo quería y expectaba que fuera un niño. Te pinté el cuarto de azul, tenía todo casi de azul, pero sorpresa, a los 2 meses de estar embarazada me dijeron que era niña. Y yo, y el cuarto se quedó azul. Y tu nombre te pensaba poner Priscila, busqué muchos nombres, pero al último escogí Giselle porque significaba que ibas a ser una persona muy alegre y es lo que yo quería, que fueras una niña muy alegre.
I'm the youngest of the family, having only one older sister. Growing up, I mostly stayed to myself. I was very independent, though, but I still looked up to my older sister.
Pues creciste, fuiste muy inteligente, tuviste un accidente a los 6 meses. Nos asustamos mucho porque se te fracturó el cráneo. Entonces nos dijeron que quedabas mal, pero gracias a Dios todo quedó bien. Has sido muy inteligente de chiquita, muy, muy inteligente, muy lista. Caminaste a los 10 meses, ibas al baño sola, nunca me ocupaste. Todo hacías sola, nunca me has ocupado casi para nada. Has sido muy independiente todo el tiempo.
Later on, in 2016, little me decided to try something new. In 3rd grade, I decided to join the cheerleading program. We cheered, we did stunts, and did competitions. We even got to travel to Dallas to do competitions. I met a lot of new people and of course made new friends. I did cheer for 3 years. As life continued for little me, I had the opportunity to travel to Utah in 2019. It was an end of the year school trip in 6th grade. We went to Moab and Zion National Park. We got to hike, cook, clean, camp, and stay for an entire week. It was such a wonderful experience that made little me want to see more of the world. In 2021, little me entered high school. It was a whole new experience for me since I decided to transfer to Springwoods High School since originally I was supposed to go to Yes Prep. I decided to join the girls basketball team. I joined since I already had experience playing in middle school and I wanted to make new friends, of course. I've been playing basketball all throughout my high school years and I love it. I have met such an amazing people and basketball has shown me how to push myself, communicate, and to be confident. Finishing my little me adventures, me and my family have always loved to travel. My mom's side of the family lives in Los Angeles, California and Tijuana, Mexico. Almost every year we go and visit them, but this time it was different. In 2023, I got the chance to go to San Francisco and see the Golden Gate Bridge. It was such an amazing experience. It was huge and very long. I got the chance to go walk on the bridge. Seeing how high up I was, it was a bit scary. There was even a suicidal call box since the bridge is known of having the most suicides. But the thing that sucked, it was a bit foggy. But I still had the chance to see it with my family.
That means we like this. Let me do that again because I missed it. Just like
Hi, my name is Nick Caitlin Lawson, and this is the story of my life called Flipping Out Literally. It all started on February 28, 2007.
at 5:24 a.m. I was born in the state of Alabama. I was the fourth child born and soon became the middle child after my 3 younger siblings were born. Growing up in a full household was definitely chaotic at times, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I was a very energetic child. I was always active, always doing something. This is me in 2015 inside of a model Tesla before they were released to the public years later. When I was 5, my mom enrolled me in dance classes. My dance class was located inside of a gymnastics facility. I quickly took notice of all the gymnasts inside of the gym.
The strangest thing happened one day, and the dance studio was located upstairs inside of a gymnastics facility. So as we were either entering or leaving the gymnastics facility, you looked over at the girls who were on beam and doing gymnastics, and you pointed and you just very confidently said, "I want to do that."
Whenever I turned 6, my mom put me in gymnastics classes at a local gymnastics center. After a few weeks of classes, a team coach urged my mom to let me try out for team. Soon, I was competing as a level 1 gymnast. I got pretty good at the sport quickly. Suddenly, gymnastics became my life as I began spending more and more time in the gym and just around the sport.
Me constantly being in the gym supporting you, I was able to see what you were doing in comparison to what some of the other girls were doing, and I could tell that this was just your thing. You were very far ahead. There were so many difficult skills that other girls were having a hard time getting, and you would just go in the gym and just do it. I remember one skill, it's called the kip. It's a difficult skill to do, especially if you're learning gymnastics. And your coach told you one day, if you do a kip, I'll give you $1. The next thing you know, she looked around, you did a kip, she owed you $1.
In 2016, I moved to Houston, Texas, where I continued my gymnastics career. This is also when I met my best friend 7 years ago. Her name is Shania. We both trained at the same gymnastics facility and instantly connected. This is us in 2019. As I moved up throughout the levels, gymnastics heavily consumed my life. I trained over 25 hours a week. One thing I wanted was to make sure that I still made time for fun. So after a few years of being homeschooled, I decided to attend public high school. While it was hard to adjust and manage school at first with gymnastics, I don't regret my decision at all. These have been some of the best years yet, from going to concerts to flipping on the football field. I am currently a level 10 gymnast with the goal of competing for a college team. Thank you for watching the story of my life called Flipping Out, Literally.
Growing up with my little brother has been an incredible journey filled with ups and downs and everything in between. From the moment he has came into our lives, he became my sidekick. Our relationship is a blend of laughter, tears, and countless shared experiences that have shaped who we are today. As kids, we spent endless hours playing together, from building towers of Lego forts to playing soccer together. Our imaginations knew no boundaries, and every day was an adventure waiting to uphold. Me and my brother started playing soccer at a very young age, and we've been playing ever since. We've been playing together ever since.
Okay, how was it like growing up with me?
It was good. It was, it was happy. Like we had a good childhood.
How was it like playing soccer with me all these years before high school?
It was a good experience. We had like our happy moments, and we had like our best moments. And so it was fun. All we did was go outside, play. We were in soccer. We were in a team. So yeah, overall, it was like really fun.
These memories, both big and small, are the threads that weave together the tapestry of childhood with my little brother. They are a reminder of laughter, the tears, and the unconditional love that defines our relationship then and continues to shape now. When we were in elementary, we had a friend group and we would go outside every single day. Me and my brother. We would be inseparable, but we would fight sometimes, but we would always resolve our differences. My parents would always come at us because we would argue all the time. I remember one time in elementary we were playing tug of war with our blankets and we were putting it from our at the ends with our mouths, and I pulled it too hard and he ended up losing a tooth. Ever since my brother was born, we had been sharing birthdays. My birthday was in June and his in July, but we would always share birthday parties. We would always share cakes. We would share everything. And we would complain about it and complain about it until now we don't really share anything. As we entered our teenage years, our relationship faced new challenges and opportunities for growth. The transition from childhood brought it with whirlwind of emotions and newfound of independence, which sometimes tested the strength of our bonds. We spent elementary together from when he started and I started. Then middle school we spent 1 year together. He was in 6th grade and I was in 8th grade. Then I graduated middle school and I moved to high school. Freshman year, sophomore year, I was by myself, and now I'm a junior and he's a freshman. And I'll be sharing schools with him again next year when I'm a senior and he's a sophomore. I remember when he was in middle school and I was already in high school, and he was telling me how high school's probably easy and there's nothing hard about it and that I shouldn't be complaining until he got into high school and he understood what I was struggling with my freshman year. Now that we are older, we both understand our differences and we don't argue as much. But now we have 2 other siblings that we argue with all the time.
I was born on May 31st, 2007, and the first big
important date of my life was when my dad got a ranch in Waller, Texas. The amount of time and effort my dad puts into it has made an impact on my life because we're always up there like every weekend. And then another date that was important was when I almost drowned in Cabo. It made me more cautious of my surroundings, but then again, I was like 10 years old and the waves literally sucked me in, so I had to be more careful.
Okay, first is first, right? So why I want another child? Because I think at two it was too little. So I was looking for a third one or fourth one. Why I want a daughter instead of son? Because I already had two sons. So I was really looking for a girl. So thank God I got it. Oh, I get it from a Mexican novela. And I thought it was a beautiful name. This is why I named my daughter Vanessa. Well, definitely the favorite part is when you were little. It was my favorite part. Now you're a teenager. But I think
Another
you are
event
really
that
smart
happened in my
and
life was
you're
getting
growing
a
on the right
dog.
direction.
My dad and mom actually hated dogs and they couldn't even imagine having a dog. So now I have a dog and they all love my dog and they would do anything for him. And then the last event that made a big impact was joining FFA. I've been in it since high school and it's made a really big impact on myself.